What's up, fight fans? We are back at it with another edition here at Round One Sports TV. Now, we have a big fight to break down, and it would only be right if I, Michael Burgundy, Ron Burgundy is my cousin on my mother's side, analyze this fight right here. Why? Because of the fact it wouldn't be right to have a goddamn Puerto Rican coming up in here being all biased on my boy Jerron Boots, and it's from Philly. Karen, sound the alarm. Them Philly boys is outside. They outside. They outside and they coming for the belts. We ain't giving them up. We ain't giving the belts up. No, we're not. Grab the WBO and grab the WBA. We gonna run for the hills. Damn it. They ain't gonna take us. They ain't gonna take us alive. Look, let me tell you something. All right. We're going to break down this fight right here with Jerron Boots Sanders and Xander. I'm a bit nervous about the fight, all right? But I don't want you to think that I'm being biased in this fight because of late, I've been seeing all around YouTube, everybody starting to turn their tune. They're starting to realize that this might be a bigger matchup, a closer fight than we all think. Jerron Boots Ennis, Philadelphia fighter, Philadelphia with rich boxing culture out there in Philly. And we got Puerto Rico. Man, them Puerto Ricans can fight. They have a history of boxing champions now, don't they? Yeah, so we got ourselves a fight. So we're going to break down this fight. We're going to talk about it. And I don't want you to come back and say that I'm being racist, biased, or anything else or the aces, right? Because we're going to break down this fight. We really got to talk about this, the ins and outs of this fight right here, and why I think here at Round One Sports Talk, Jerron Boots Ennis, you just might be in a lot of trouble. So, fight fans, lock in. Listen, I know you talked about this fight all over YouTube streets, but you ain't talked about it here. So let's break this fight down. And these are the gentlemen we talking about right here. Yo, listen, we got a young, hungry lion in young Xander Zayas. He comes to us with 23 fights and 13 big ways by knockout and zero defeats. He currently has the WBA and WBO 154-pound straps. And he's proving and aiming at he has his sights on a bigger target. It might not be right now a unification fight like some of us feel Xander should be pursuing. But it doesn't seem like he can get any of the other champions in the ring with him. And of late, Jerron Boots Ennis was scheduled to once upon a time try to face Virgil Ortiz, the Mexican up and coming star. But his star status has been flickering at late, to say the least. He hasn't been getting in the ring with the big fighters, and he haven't been securing the big fights. And now it seems like Oscar De La Hoya and him got in a pissing contest, and now it seems like Virgil Ortiz is now shelved for the remaining of the year. So he will not be playing any reindeer games, Virgil Ortiz. So what do we have left? Xander is what I believe taking one of the biggest risks and challenges early in his career. Many fight observers view Xander as being very fortunate to be in the situation that he's in. Others believe that he is rightfully so deserving of where he is at. Now, the jury is out on that because people are not buying into the fact that Xander has only proven to be a real champion in my books. Why? He beat a champion in Abbas Baru. Abbas Baru was a real world champion. And when you fight for a vacant title against the number one contender, that's a world title fight. So I say that Xander is not as fortunate as they make him out to be. I think that Xander is very deserving. He is worthy and he has rightfully earned his position among the division and the 154 pounds. Now, unfortunately, they do not view a unified, sorry, did I say undisputed? Unified world champion. They're not recognizing his status as a champion. How disrespectful. How disrespectful. What does a world title mean? What does it mean to you at home? Does it not stamp that you are among one of the best if you were to able to secure just one belt in your division? What does this belt mean? Without the belt, you're not the champion, and with the belt, you are the champion. So what does it mean if you not only have one belt, but you have two belts? And the boxing world does not view you as one of the best in your division while maintaining two of the four belts. Incredible. What do I mean by that? Well, in the 154-pound weight division, the number one guy up there is Jaron Boots Ennis. The number two, Virgil Ortiz. Wait a minute. That can't be possible. Neither of them have a belt. They have what we call a piece of a belt. A piece of a belt, Edwin? What do you say? An interim world title. A regular belt. The gold, the silver, the platinum. Put a name to it. What does it mean to have an interim, a regular, a gold, a silver? What does that mean? It means that you have a piece of a world championship, but you do not have full status. You have a piece of a championship. So if you have a piece and that's not full status, then what do you have? You have a very nice award. I'm not going to shit on an interim belt. I would love to have earned one, right? But it's just a stepping stone to the real deal. And if you got two real belts and they're viewing the first two guys in front of you without having a real belt in the division, something is wrong with boxing. Is it a situation or a case where that these guys got there first and they're avoiding the top best? Do you feel that way? No. No. No, I do not. Both Virgil had an opportunity and Boots. But the one thing you can say about Boots, he had belts at 147. What can you say about Virgil? Right? Mexico down bad. Right? So, the American steps up because I guess the representative they got for Mexico checked in a witness protection program. Yo, that's why they don't want to back them sometimes. And I feel the Mexicans sometimes because when they see bullshit like that, yo, that Azteca blood don't be playing that shit. They don't back this shit. They don't. They're Mexican warriors, and they not going for that with that Virgil shit. That's why sometimes when I say, Dan, that's fucked up, they don't back them, I can see why. Because they tired of this. They're like, yo, Virgil, man, get in there. Nah, bro. That Azteca blood, they don't play that shit, bro. Them dudes is warriors, bro. The Mexican dudes is warriors. And I can see why sometimes, because they get pissed off with fighters that do this type of shit. And makes them look bad. So then they pull back and we ain't fucking with him. You know what I'm saying? And I can see that, but Virgil, for me to you, the one good thing you have on your side, the one good thing, this is a blood sport. You bring them blood, they'll love you again. Trust me. Trust me when I tell you. So you might be shelved right now and shit might not be looking good for Virgil right now. And Mexico might be down bad, right? But I guarantee it. Yo, one fight, Virgil get in there, kick some ass. Yeah, Virgil, he's the best. Watch, mark my words. But we got ourselves a fight right here with Jerron Boots Ennis. You know what I'm saying? Like, I keep saying his name, and I start thinking they're gonna pop up outside for them belts. You done told them where I'm at. Oh, get the belts, baby, grab them. We ain't giving them up. Yo, listen, let me tell you something. Y'all might have messed up. Y'all might have messed up. It's cool. It's cool. And fair competition, America's coming after us, Puerto Rico, right? Cool. You know, this always happens. You know what I'm saying? We're all good until we got to pick a side. You know what I'm saying? Right? And either way, I'm going to win, right? Because American boxing will win or Puerto Rican boxing. But this is a bit more personal for me. You know what I'm saying? I'm not wearing a disguise today. You know what I'm saying? At all. That's the real deal here. You know what I mean? Look, look. In a way, I'm nervous for the fight. Because truth be told, guys, Jerron Busenis is a fucking problem. He's a problem. And I see what's going on here. You know, I always felt that the only recognition we were going to rightfully get as being Puerto Rico, if we can manage to get just 3 belts at 154 pounds and rival Boots, I was hoping that Xander can maybe strike a deal with Fundora or at the time it wasn't Josh Kelly, it was Bacham still. So I mean, Martachek there. So it was I don't think Martachek had lost to him yet by this time. So I wanted to see if Xander can get to that third belt. Unfortunately, fucking Virgil Ortiz, man, couldn't fucking pack the cojones to take the shot for us. If Virgil Ortiz would have signed the fucking agreement, we wouldn't be here right now. We'd be getting USA versus Mexico out there and let Jerron Busenis wipe him down. Then it would give Xander that breathing room to try to get that third belt. Once he got that third belt, yes, I would have got greedy. Of course. Of course, I would have wanted more. I'm a crazy fucking boxing fan. Yes, I would have switched it up, switched gears. Once you let him got to 3, I would have not want the Jerron Busenis and I would be lying. You know what I'm saying? I would be saying, nah, Jerron, just let us get the third and then we'll fight you. Bullshit. I would be fucking lying because once I got the third, now fuck it. Let's go for the fourth. So I knew that my biasness would have kicked in anyway, right? And there's a point in boxing where I always try to be unbiased, right? But there's certain things in boxing I still have not witnessed. And as a Puerto Rican man, I have never witnessed a Puerto Rican fighter winning 3 belts. That's never happened. So now we got 3 fighters that got 2 belts that are unified, right? What's the problem, Edwin? Shit, my brother. Both fighters the other 2 fighters, they're at 105 and 108. They would have never gave us credit like that. They have to give us credit. We would get the award. Yes, we can say we did it no matter what. But it wouldn't have been in the glamour divisions now, would it? You see how they treat fighters like Naoya Inoue, right? You see that, right? And you see how accomplished he is. No matter what those Puerto Rican dudes do, they would have to do double, triple just to get the attention. Trust me, I know boxing. And the only way I felt that we had it was Xander, man. Xander, bro. My money was right there. Now that they couldn't 154, the boxing world couldn't ignore that. And now they fucking put Jerron Boots Ennis in the way like a roadblock. Yeah, and they're gonna make us fight each other because Jerron Boots Ennis is one of my favorite fighters, right? And I got family in Philly. My sister owns a gym out there and shit. I rock with Philly. You know what I'm saying? My father had it, an accident out there in Philly, and we came out here and shit, and the rest is history. But I lived in Philly and in Philly as a kid. I don't remember much of it at all. I can't claim Philly. Hell no, I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't go that far. But once upon a time, I did live there. So it's like I like the American fighter, but this is where we draw the line in the sand. And I'm gonna tell you this right now. My honest assessment: don't ever bet with your heart. Ever. Do never, ever, ever do that. Judge the fight by skill. And if you're a gambler and you're gonna put money on this, I suggest you do your due diligence and you go with your gut, I guess, or whoever you got favorite, however you want to do it. But me, this is not about gambling. I don't gamble. This is about legacy. Our legacy. Yo, the Americans, y'all have a lot of legacy on your side. Yo, the plate is big enough. Stop being greedy. You know what I'm saying? Give to the needy. Ribs is touching, so don't make me wait. I'm about to snatch the plate. Yo, listen. Y'all had this. Y'all had much more than this already. The American dudes and shit. So as far as this, I watch boxing for a lot of different reasons, but there's no better reason than watching your own countrymen succeed. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. So I'm an American, yes, and but um, my native country is Puerto Rico. Both my parents were born in Puerto Rico, and I was born in America. So you know what I mean. And the thing is that with these kind of fights right here, this is what we want. This is the big fight of 2026 right here. Listen, I was tuning in last night. I was watching a little bit of that Zuffa card. Did you guys see that knockout? Oh boy, went down, face down, ass up. Yo, that's gonna go down as the Zuffa knockout of the year. Probably will, right? Batani got a knockout or something. I fell asleep halfway down the main event. I don't even know who won. But they trying to do their thing and shit. But anyway, enough with that. I thought anyway that knockout was great. Even though I'm not really feeling super like that, I think that they got to make their way, and we'll talk about that on another day. But this Jerron Boots Ennis fight is really good. Now, if we break down both of these fighters, right? Jerron Boots Ennis, of course, he has a record of 35 and 31 big ways of knockout. Many onlookers are saying that, in comparison to opponents. Who has Jerron Boots Ennis fought? They said a world champion in Stanionis, but I believe that was at 147. At 154, Lima, he fought. He dusted him off in one round. That's my only concern. Now, my other concern is this, that you can't take that into account and say, just because Jerron Boots Ennis has not faced a lot of fighters at 154, that he won't be able to the adjust, because I've seen time and time again the great ones acclimate to the new weight division just fine. You would think they were the fighter that was in the weight division and the other guy was coming up. Hamza versus Edgar Berlanga. Hamza came up in weight. But on the night they fought, it looked like Hamza was there the whole time, and Edgar Berlanga was the one moving up. If you was to tell me, and I didn't know anything about them, I would have thought Hamza was the guy that was always there. The way he fought, and he was moving up in weight. The way that Keyshawn Davis moved up against Jermaine Ortiz. Jermaine Ortiz had faced top tier competition. Top tier. Loma, Teo. He lost in them. Very controversial and close fights, though. Nothing like that massacre Keyshawn Davis did, right? He really made him look like he didn't belong in there with him. And he came up in weight. So, the great ones the good ones, the top echelon of athletes in boxing can pull shit like that off. What do we always say about Jerome Boots Ennis? Well, anyway, they do. I don't always. He's a phenom. He's the next great thing, Jerome Boots Ennis. Right? Am I right? He's athletic. He's this, he's that. So I'm sitting back and I'm saying to myself, well, Ed, you can't really say that the weight jump will affect everyone the same way. Two of the most dangerous weight jumps in all of boxing, right? The biggest weight jumps in all of boxing right now, right? Well, it's always really been this way. The most dangerous to me is where the equipment changes from 147 to 154. Now you're going from 8 ounces to 10-ounce gloves, right? Now that's a change in equipment. From there, it all stays the same throughout all the divisions. The other day, they were arguing on the Boxing Voice about weight in a heavyweight division. That's unheard of. You do know you can't use that as an argument in a division that plays by their own set of rules. They don't cut weight. So weight isn't an issue. A guy can have 100 pounds on you, case in point, Big Baby, right? Miller, right? Versus Daniel Dubois. On the night they fought, he had 98 pounds on him, 2 pounds shy away from a 100-pound weight advantage. But you can't bring that up in a division where you don't cut weight. You understand? So, but one of the biggest other jumps in boxing, besides the equipment itself actually changing, is from cruiserweight to heavyweight. That's like if a cruiserweight, what Usyk did, the reason why the boxing world gives Usyk so much credit from being undisputed in cruiserweight and being undisputed in heavyweight, the reason why that's viewed higher than like what Terrence Crawford did, right? Because the weight jump from cruiserweight to heavyweight is 25 pounds. That's a 25-pound weight jump. When you're going from 147 to 154, what do you got? A 7-pound weight jump? From cruiserweight to heavyweight, that's 25 pounds. Never mind what the guys are putting on and what they weigh up there anyway. The adjustment to that is they don't see a lot of guys ever be able to do that. The only guys, it was a real 1% category, like Evander Holyfield and Usyk. They were the little guys that can type shit. They had enough skill. They were strong enough. They punch hard enough. And they acclimated and were able to dominate in the heavyweight. And that's really rare to do. That's rare as fuck. You know, and that's why sometimes when you talk of these guys and that are on the 1%, I get you got to bring these guys up, but it's really hard to put these guys against everybody else because there's not a lot of humans that can do that. Period. Just they can't. And if they was, why wouldn't anybody else be doing it? Just like Naoya anyway. Oh yeah, he ain't fighting nobody. Really? He ain't fighting nobody? Then why isn't nobody doing it? In the 100 years that boxing has existed, there has never been an undisputed champion at 122 in the history of it. And that's easy to do. He's the first man to ever do it. It's just that they're never going to get that kind of credit. That's my point. That we have two unified champions down there, but Xander is the one right there. Now that's, you know what I'm saying? And yeah, look, I didn't plan for this moment to happen when I started podcasting. I didn't plan for, it was sometimes heartbreaking for Puerto Rican fighters. Sometimes we had good ones, and it was long in between before we had another star. As you can see, the island of Puerto Rico is fairly small in comparison to its neighboring cousin, Santo Domingo, right? That island, they share it with Haiti. They don't per se own the entire island. We do, but no shots to them. But their island is almost 5 times the size of our island. There are a lot of countries that hold their own weight, and Latin countries in particular, Cuba, Colombia, countries like that, they hold their weight. So I didn't think I was, when I started podcasting, that I would get here, like this close. This almost feels like you're chasing down Mickey Mantle's batting record. Like you're at like number 50. They don't start announcing you on a hitting streak you until you're like up there. You're like at 50, you're at the plate fucking shaking, like, you know what I mean? With all the cameras flashing today, they don't leave you alone. Every step you take, somebody's reminding you you're about to break the record. You're like, shut up, like you know what I mean, like, you know. And I never thought that maybe we would get here. I was quite fond of our champions getting one belt and representing really well, dominating in the division, fighting all their mandatories, fighting the next guy in line, type shit like Felix Trinidad, Miguel Cotto's of the world. And I thought that we would get there. Like, that's just a custom. We would have 2 or 3 simultaneously one belt champions as a small island, and we would be rocking. You know what I'm saying? Or we wouldn't have shit. You know what I mean? And we'd be saying, Viva Mexico! You know what I'm saying? We'd be jumping on the bandwagon of fucking Saul and shit. Our neighboring Latin fucking boxing cousins, because we didn't have shit. Let's just keep it funky. You know what I'm saying? Let's not like act like Puerto Rico's been there the whole goddamn time. No, we ain't been there. Let's stop that tomfoolery right now and stop making them lies, right? Okay. So, as Latin fighters, there weren't a lot of us in the sense of, like America or some shit, or the Brits or some shit like that, or Japan. There wasn't like a lot of us. So we stuck together, as Latins. And when our neighboring cousins fought, we supported them, and we always do to these days. You know what I'm saying? You know how we do. We rock out, right? But this one right here it's going to sting a little if we lose, because I just think that Xander, he was that close for us. And I'm really proud of him. Really proud of Xander for being a young champion. There's no shame in defeat. You know what I'm saying? A victory is what we want. Yes, we do. Xander can move up to 160 regardless of a loss or a win. I think that's what he aims on to do. And he will be champion up there again. Xander is a very, what I would say, a good student of the game of boxing. When I was visualizing Xander's performances in previous fights like the Spooner fight come into mind. That on fight night, one of the biggest questions in the back of my mind is, how are the judges viewing the fight? That's something that I'm really concerned with. Why? Okay, I went back and watched Xander's fight with Spooner, and I want you to pay attention to one round in particular, the fourth round. The fourth round. Now, in that fourth round, Xander was dominating Spooner. He was whooping his ass from pillar to post the entire round. In fact, on copyback box stats, they only have Spooner in the fourth round landing 4 punches. In the entire round, Spooner only landed 4 punches according to copy box stats. That's all he landed. Xander clearly outlanded him. Xander stunned him to the body. Xander was picking him apart. There was a point in the fourth round where I thought they might stop this fight. Lo and behold, in the closing seconds of the fourth round, Spooner hit Xander. He clipped him. Boom. And it was visible. Xander was hurt. Xander wobbled. He did a lot of smart stuff after he got hit. Every time Spooner like faked and everything, Xander didn't bite, blocked. Yo, his training kicked in. Xander's training kicked in when he was stunned. Yes, it did. Yo, he was like, da, da, da. Yo, Spooner couldn't get shit. Now, I said all of that to say this, that when Spooner hit Xander and clipped him, Xander survived. The bell rang. They went to their corners. Now, mind you, he only landed 4 shots and the one punch that stunned him. Don't you know that Mark, the judge in that fight, gave the round to Spooner? Why? Like I said, the criteria for judging overall is effective punching. What kind of effect your punches have on your opponent? And if it's visible, it will eliminate all the work you did in the first and middle part of the round. And the other 2 judges said no. Xander won that round. They awarded the ass whooping he was giving them, and they overlooked, yeah, he got stunned, but Xander stunned him in the round, hurt him to the body visibly. But you go to look at that fourth round and go to BoxRec and look at the scorecard for Spooner and Xander fight. Just go to the corner to the far right. It's going to say it, score. Now you're going to see the way you read this. I'll show you. Matter of fact, why don't we go there? All right. I'd rather show you better than that way no one can say, yo, he's making this shit up or whatever, just you just put it up. All right. Which one I want to bring up here? Let's put up Xander's, right? All right. Here we go. Now that's okay. Hold on. Let's view it like this. Okay. This is 23-year-old Xander Zayas. He's 23-13, big ways by knockout. He lives in Florida, USA. His place of birth is San Juan, Puerto Rico. Now, when we go down, this is how you do this. If you ever go on BoxRec and you want to look stuff up, here you go. This is how you do it. You go to their fight. Here it is, right here. That's Spooner right there, right? He ended the fight in the 9th round. It was a 10-round scheduled fight. You go all the way down here where it says score. Click score like this. Well, I would have to do it on my screen. Yup. Okay, boom. Now, as you can see, Xander is the red. You see it right here? Wait, let me get this out the way. Xander is red and Spooner is blue. Okay? Now, right here it says fan scorecard. And these are the 3 judges right here that were in the fight. Okay? You see the last judge, Mark? Okay. You go down here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Look at that. 4, right? Check it out. 1, 2, 3, 4. Look at the judge, Mark, MC, 9, 10. The fans gave it to Xander, and the other 2 judges gave it to Xander. This judge gave it to Spooner. And what am I talking about exactly? Okay, we got to do that too. Check this out. For boxing purposes, we are going to go to the 4th round in the Xander Zayas fight versus Spooner fight, right? That's what we'll do. Okay, hold on. First, I have to share it here, then I have to look it up because I didn't have it on like my screen ready to go. I'm gonna have to type in that Xander right there. I mean, I guess I could just. I'm trying to be lazy. All right. Let's see here. Boom. Now, damn it, I'm gonna have to hear this. All right, for educational boxing purposes. What the hell is this? I'm on the wrong screen? What is it doing? Oh, I guess when it switches, you still gotta replace it in order to play? I guess so. Yep. Okay, here we go. All right. Okay.
Nice uppercut on the inside.
It's not. This is not gonna work for me, huh? Of course, it's not gonna let me play. Damn it. Let me see. Hold on. Uh, it always happens when I get video like this. It's not gonna work. All right, I ain't gonna waste nobody's time here because I don't feel like it's gonna let me do it. And this is no coincidence. This happens all the time. Whenever you like, I want to like show a video. It doesn't. It's not gonna work for me. But if you have time, check out that fourth round with Spoomer and look at the boxing stat, the numbers for it, like the copy box of how many punches Spoomer actually landed. 4 punches in the round. Yeah, and that's what worries me sometimes with this judging. That if I had a better relationship or if remembered all these judges from every event and I had a feel for their judging method, I would be more informed with the judges that are announced for the fight. And I'll see more or less in his history, he has been known to judge fights like this, and this. This judge awards this, because I'm not sure if these guys are on the same page with forward aggression. You know what I'm saying? Punches landed, does one judge view punches landed versus forward aggression, and how they're going to view that? Um, we can eliminate all the judges out of this fight if one of these guys stop each other, and that's another way that the fight can happen. Jerron Boutin is is a hell of a talent. He's 100% the biggest threat Xander Zayas has ever faced. I'm not really sure until the fight night that. Oh no! Wait, guys! My dog. Yo, I looked out the window. My fucking dog is in the middle of the street chasing the neighbor's dog. He almost got hit by a car. I looked at my screen. I was like, oh shit, my fucking dog's outside. My grandfather let my dog outside. Damn. Yeah, I had to run outside, take the shit off. I was like, yo, I can see my dog's in the middle of the fucking street. The traffic is all held up. He's barking at the dog across the street. I'm like, shit. I was like, oh shit. I knew I heard some shit when I was sitting here talking. I was like, and I looked back like that because my fucking light blocks my camera. I saw my cat. I was like, yo, that's my dog. Yo, I had to get up and go save him. You know what I'm saying? I thought them Philly dudes was outside coming for the belts. Yo. Yo, my sister told him my location. Yo, that was crazy. Spooner, who's that guy? Said Canelo. Canelo, Xander is the weakest at the 150. He's not the weakest. He's not the easiest neither, by far. I think actually he's the better of the technical boxers, to tell you the truth. He's actually the better. Now, that doesn't, say victory. That doesn't spell victory. But technical, bringing shit back, uh, being defensively irresponsible, worse than other. He has a better boxing technique than Sebastian Fundora. He has a better boxing technique than Josh Kelly. Josh Kelly's creative. He's slick. Josh Kelly. He tries to be a bit flashy, but Xander actually boxes better than him. Now with the new arrival, Jaron Boots Ennis, I thought that it was between the better boxing, just boxing, between him and Virgil. They were like Xander and him. Now, Jaron Boots Ennis, the American slick style is very effective. But to pull off what Jaron Boots Ennis is doing, you got to be blessed with a couple things. You just can't walk into a gym and turn your kid into Jaron Boots Ennis. I wouldn't recommend it. Unless you were born with some of his attributes, his traits, you're not going to be able to do what he does. So that's why we say God gifted, talented. They're two different things. You understand? But don't confuse Jaron Boots Ennis boxing slick style for boxing. You're going to get a rude awakening. In actuality, Xander's the better boxer out of all of them. But just because you're the better boxer doesn't mean you win. You understand? I mean, look, when Navarrete fought, what's his name there? Valdez, right? Many of the Mexican legends thought Valdez would beat him. He was just a better boxer. But did he win? No. So, yeah, I can say that Xander is the better boxer. You might try to call him the weakest link, right? But I don't think so. Because I tell you what, I'm not sure, I'm not 100% sure that Virgil gets past Abbas Baru. I'm not sure on that. I think that kid Abbas Baru, that German dude, that dude can fight, bro, and he can box. The way he sets up his shots, that Abbas Baru kid, yo, he tagged Xander in that fight a few times. Flush. He really tested Xander. He pushed Xander in that fight. That Abbas Baru dude, they're really not going to understand how good he is until that victory later for Xander. I think it's going to age well because Abbas Baru's about to be champion again. Maybe not here, maybe at 160. I don't know. But that kid Abbas Baru can fight, bro. He's a good fighter, bro. I was surprised that Xander was able to take the fight to him like that. There was a part in the fight when the fight was kicking off. I was like, oh shit. I was like, damn, this dude's a little bit better than I thought. Then I saw Xander break his spirit. And Abbas Baru was fighting on fumes and instinct at the end. He was fighting because he's a trained fighter. And he was just doing what he was trained to do. But he knew he was behind in the fight. And he knew his punches couldn't drop Xander. Yeah. And Xander fought a great fight in that fight too. The Perez fight, he's a more technical, smart fight. He boxed when he needed to. He got the lead. He controlled the pace of the fight. He didn't let Perez, even he knew in the fight there was going to be a point that Perez was going to have to sell out in the fight because he was going to be behind in the scorecards. And Xander used all kinds of boxing technique to throw his rhythm off and never let Perez open up like Conwell did when Conwell was viewed as the number one prospect and Conwell basically stood in front of him. The good things that Xander did were key boxing shit. You know, when the guy's the most aggressive, punch when you need to punch. Grab him, tie him up on the inside. Don't let him get them hooks on you. Break off. Make sure that you blocking on the way out. Protect yourself at all times. Then get back in rhythm. Coast. Make him make a mistake. The greatest fighters in the world, the top fighters in the world, use that same strategy. But when Xander used it, they said, no, he clinched, he ran, he did this. Wait a minute. When Saul Canelo Alvarez dropped Jaime Munguia, Edgar Berlanga, and he relaxed on the back foot and dared them to make mistakes, managed the fight, and coast to the victory, everybody, the world said, great performance, right? When Devin Haney knocked down Brian Norman Jr. and put Brian Norman Jr. behind the 8 ball, sat back on the back foot and told him, now you come in because I'm already up. Great job, Devin Haney. Xander does it. Oh, he was fucking holding. Oh, shit, but bullshit performance, man. Bro, listen, if I'm whooping your ass, why should I help you win? That's what I can hear my coach now. Edwin, why did you go in there on 50-50 exchanging if in the 10th round you were up 7-3? Why are you giving him opportunities? Stay on the outside, keep him, and make him come in. Catch him with a big shot. Set him up. But yet, you want to be up in the scorecards in a place you shouldn't be in. Now, I understand the killers of the game. The killers of boxing, Neil Inoue. That motherfucker can be up 7-3. He does not care. He's fighting every round. He wants to take your head off. He don't care. I don't care if I'm up in the fight. I'm not here to be up in the fight. I'm here to knock you out. Those are different types of fighters. Those are different type of fighters. You know, not everybody's like that. You know, and then when you see these other fighters come up short, you want to talk shit to them. Like, these dudes suck. Devin didn't knock him out. Nah, well, okay. I can agree. Devin didn't. A lot of people were like prisoners in the moment in the Devin Brian Norman Jr. fight. Let's just be honest. They started talking like the new coming of Devin Haney. This is Devin Haney 2.0. Oh my God. They started saying the power is there. I told you. Oh my goodness. They just started making shit up. And I was like, yo, slow down. Devin Haney didn't show nothing in that fight with Brian Norman Jr. He didn't do better in the Regis Progress fight. That's just vintage Devin Haney. I said it on day one. I think I even said it on live right after the fight. While picking Devin Haney in the fight to win by unanimous decision on a live. You can go check. I got receipts. Okay? And right after that, I was like, great performance. I expect more from Devin. And I've said it. I might lose on this one. I might. Might let me down, right? But I don't think we saw the best version of Devin yet. Not yet. Not yet. I think Devin's going to get better. I talked about this. He just needs some shit. But all this shit ties into what's going on. Because if you notice, every name I've mentioned has in one way or another have to do with Jaron Boots Ennis and Xander. Wasn't Devin Haney the one that tweeted, oh, Xander got 2 belts? Debo, Bill Haney came out saying, right, squeaking up to 154, threatening to fight Xander? And the world apparently didn't believe it. that this man from left field, literally from left field, Duran Buchanan, was already in an argument with Virgil over here, right? He straight up walked up like this. And shout out to Xander for being a real one. Not pricing yourself out like some boxers. You didn't have to twist his hand. You didn't have to convince him. Xander looked at the name and said, hell yeah. Like a true warrior. He said, hell yeah. I think actually Xander sees the value in Jaron Buchanan' name. That's a good scalp. If he can pull this off, that is a good scalp. I'm not sure if Xander wins this fight. I got Xander in the fight. I'm rocking with him. I stand on that. That's not going to change. And I tell you this is the only fight, and I'm very transparent with this. Do not do what I'm doing. It's not recommended. Never bet with your heart. Don't go with your guy because it's just your favorite. You're going to lose your money. Okay? Right? I'm going with my guy because, one, I truly believe he can win. I think Xander can win this fight. That's first. Let's get that out the way. I think he can win this fight. Two, I want to see him get 3 belts. I want to see Xander get that 3rd belt. And if Jaron Buchanan is standing in the way, well, then shall be it. We need to run his ass over. That's it. That's it. And fair competition. I accept all competition. I acknowledge without my competitor, what would the sport be? What would the sport be if the Red Sox fell off the face of the earth? If you were a baseball fan and you knew about the Red Sox and Yankee rivalry, how rich that was, you got to respect the other side. I might say fuck you to the other side, but there's a little competitor that lives there that says, yo, thank you for showing up. Thank you for showing up, and thank you for making it interesting for me. Thank you for giving me something to talk about, to watch, and to be entertained to both sides. And that's just real boxing talk. This is never personal. Never. I rock with Philly, bro. Philly is the shit. All right? Jaron Buchanan is fucking Scooter. I like all they fighters, bro. I like all they fighters. Jaron, his career kind of stalled out a little bit. Out of sight, out of mind. Other boxers kind of took his shine. Yes. But I fuck with Philly all day. Twice on Sunday. But I do want to see my Puerto Rican dude try to get this 3rd belt. And we at a crossroads. We just at a crossroads. That's it. It's only for this fight because as soon as this fight is done with, I'm whatever Jaron's doing next, Jaron Buchanan, let's go. That's it. You know what I'm saying? It's nothing personal. Nothing personal. You know, I'm not a fan of neither of these guys. I'm a fan of boxing actually, but I'm also a historian, or I try to be. That's what I'm striving to be. Better educated in the history of boxing, getting more familiar with all of boxing, always trying to read up new rules and shit like that and stay up with boxing. I'm not so much into the fucking soap opera life. I can see where a lot of people get clicks, views, and likes for that shit. I get it. But there's enough shit going on in boxing that we can talk about. I'm telling you right now, man. Listen, this is a fucking fight. I'm a little upset that they had to go get the U.S. on us. You know what I'm saying? They had to call Philly, huh? You know what I'm saying? Try to come for the belts. Motherfuckers. Listen, but them Puerto Ricans ain't going out, baby. We ain't going out like that. We fighting back. You ain't taking them belts. You ain't taking them. Philly got us surrounded. Yo, come outside with your hands up, or I'm coming outside. Ah! Puerto Rico, stand up. We coming outside shooting, baby. You ain't taking them belts. You ain't taking them goddamn belts. Them belts are staying in Puerto Rico, Jack. Xander bringing them belts back home. You better believe it. Fuck that. We competing. Nah, gloves is off. Fuck that, Philly. Yo, now I don't want a Philly cheesesteak. Now I want a Roscoe Gondoles, motherfucker, with Roscoe Pollo. Man, fuck a Philly cheesesteak. I never liked them shits anyway. Man, fucking Philly, yo, Gerard, man, why can't you buy your business? Go that way. Why you go fight fucking don't Teofimo Lopez? Didn't he call you out or something? Shit. Fucking Ennis, bro. Damn, bro, this is a dangerous fight. This gonna have me up for days. Man, this is some bullshit. Damn it, man. We just gonna have to fight for them belts, baby. We ain't giving them up. Fuck that. Fuck that shit, man. God damn, bro, this is a tough one. This is a tough one. This is going to solidify Xander's fucking career right here. Well, they're gonna have to give him the credibility. You know what they're probably gonna say? Duran Boots didn't fight anybody. That's what they're gonna say. Watch, fucking hypocrites, right? Right? Leading into the fight, right? This guy's gonna whoop my guy's ass, and then when he knocks him out, oh, this guy's a cab driver. Blah blah blah. He wasn't serious. He had a year out of boxing, ring rust. All the excuses are gonna start coming out, but I don't give a fuck. If Xander pulls this off, I will be here. You know what I'm saying? If he loses, you might see my helper. He might come on, the guy with the real nice hair. Yeah, he might come on because round one might be in his feelings on that day, right? But we will come on, right? Might be wearing a disguise in defeat, right? Right. But I will be on a live that day, and I am going on the next day because I would be intrigued, and I couldn't say I wouldn't be intrigued to hear all the Jerron Booth and his fans' excuses of why he lost. So I'm gonna be here bright and early. I want to hear him. I want to hear him. You know what I'm saying? And I know there's some of you out there saying, "Yo, round one, same goes for you. Same go. Don't you hide, right? Fuck that." Yo, I'm gonna need a day or two or something. That one might sting. I'm not sure if it'll sting worse than that Dominican Republic lost baseball team. I don't know if it'll sting like that. I know some Dominican dudes, they want to cortar la vena, bro. Them dudes look like some of them, we had to go check on them after a couple, 3-4 days. We didn't hear from them, or they never came down to the block, or to the dice game, or to the. We had to go out door knocking and shit. Oh yeah, Pedro, you okay there, man? You haven't been to the domino table after the Dominican loss, and we done found Pedro in there trying to hang it up with motherfucking toilet paper. You know what I mean? He was frying because he even wet the toilet paper. yo, yo, yeah, this might sting a little. This might, or maybe not. Maybe we will be celebrating. Who knows? Who knows? But I know one thing. I checked earlier, and on BoxRec, the fight is still announced. Wait. That was earlier. Let me check again. Maybe they canceled it for some reason, or maybe Jerron Bucenis couldn't show up. He might have stubbed his toe or something. Maybe he had something to do. You know? Maybe he got the chicken pox. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Fuck, it's still there. Okay. All right, well, we still got to fight. Nope, it's still there. Huh. You know what I mean? But hey, it is what it is. Boots is almost 30 years old, and your biggest your biggest and broken out fight is with A 23-year-old? Unfortunately, yeah. Yes, it is. Yes, damn, I got something in my eye. That shit fucking flicked right in the corner of my eye. Yeah. Yeah, he's almost 30 years old, and his biggest fight is with a 23-year-old. That he's accomplished some shit, though. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, would you judge it on the scale that Saul Canelo Alvarez was 23 years old when he fought 36-year-old Floyd Mayweather? And let me tell you something. The argument was that Saul, they put him in too early with Floyd. Well, if you would have waited any more years, Floyd would have been an old man. He would have had a walker. So, because he was already 36. So, and then how could you say that Canelo was green and young when Canelo already had 30 plus professional fights and he was already a world champion when he fought Floyd? He was just 23. But Saul got 60 plus fights now. He started real young. A Saul fighter at 23 was like a 27-year-old fighter today for the experience Saul had. To tell you the truth, they just used his age as a smokescreen. But Saul Canelo Alvarez was, as you can see, he didn't get any better from the Floyd fight. He just got smarter and more efficient with his punches. That's all he did throughout the years. But he didn't actually get better after the Floyd loss. Saul, he just got more efficient. He got more effective. He knew how to get to the target quicker, but his boxing style never changed. So where was it that he was green? He just never was going to be Floyd. That's the problem. Some people don't want to face that. You understand? Now, Ennis is not Floyd. You see? Ennis is unproven, to say the least. You got email one belt, and you fought a guy that had to fight you because he had no other way to go. Where, like, okay, hold on. I'll tell you right now. Hold on. I need a second. Now I'm fucking with this eye. What the fuck? All right, let me look up. Okay, Stenionis was 15-0 when he fought Jaron Boots Ennis. He only had 15 professional fights. So you beat a champion that had 15 professional fights and you got emailed the other belt. That's what you did? Right? After he fought David Amarinian, he was 30-4. Then he fought Karen. Then he fought Stenionis. Then he fought Lima. And now he's going to fight Xander Zayas. You know what I'm saying? And your best performances or your toughest challenge in Jaron Boots Ennis' side, he fought Karen twice to 12-round decisions. So Jaron Boots Ennis could not knock out Karen. Flat-footed Karen. Now, the good thing that Karen had really well on his side was timing. He was a good place puncher. I wouldn't say he was fast or his footwork was crazy, like, right? But he was hard to hit, Karen. Okay? And Jaron Boots Ennis had 2 cracks at him and couldn't put him away. That's I don't know where you want me to pull from Jaron Boots Ennis' resume, because there's no one else. That's what it is. And if you were to look Like, okay, let's do this again. I hate doing this and talking about it because then somebody's going to say something, or maybe that I missed something, or I was being biased by some means or stretch of, you know what I mean? Like, so when we're talking about the
Champion.
guy, at least let's have his record up, right? Let's show Jerron Buchanan some fucking respect, right? Okay. So, okay, this is, for all accounts, this is Jerron Buchanan, 35 and 31. He's 28 years old. He's an orthodox fighter, and his height is 5'10". He has a 74-inch arm reach. Now, Xander Zayas, he also is 5'10" and also has a 74-inch arm reach, but he is younger, where he is only 23 years old. Okay. Now, on his resume, Jerron Buchanan started his career with a 4-round fight. He had a lot of 4-round fights. He transitioned to 6-round fights. 6-round fights, as you can see, were moving fairly fast. He went to an 8-round fight, back down to 6-round fight, back to 8-round fights, and back to 6 and 8. And sometimes in boxing, I don't want you to think that the fighter wasn't ready. Why was the fighter going up and down in weight? Sometimes in these moments, you can't find a fight with a guy for 8 rounds. And the guy is only cleared by the doctors to fight 6-round fight. So sometimes you got to go back down in rounds in order to solidify a fight, just for you to stay active early on in your career. This is very common in the sport of boxing, where you would see guys go up in rounds and go down in rounds and fluctuate like that. But that's just signs of the fighter having problems trying to get the guys to get in the ring with him. And that's how you're able to read some of these guys' resume and determine that when they go up and down in rate like that. Now he transitioned to 10-round fights here, and that's where things started, and the competition started to get a bit more, I would say, tougher. Okay. Let's also see one thing, and let's keep this in mind. Has Jerron Boots Ennis ever fought a fighter with a losing record, and how bad was it? Their losing record. As you can see, there's a fighter here with 12 losses and 3 wins. Very early on in his career. All that is also common. But I just wanted to see, on average, did he fight winners? That's what we're looking for. A better winning record than a losing percentage. That is important. It speaks to the level of competition you are fighting at. You understand? Okay. So right here, you got, this is where the big numbers start. So that's where we're going to start. 28 and 16, 20 and 12, 25 and 26. That's a losing record right there, where Eduardo Flores, right? Then you got another losing record here with Fredo, 16 and 20 and 20. Ooh, 6 and 32. Robert Hill. I didn't see that one. Oh, but these are 6-round fights. Don't worry about it. This means nothing. These are 6-round fights right here. This is still early in his career. This is very common. All right. So Jerron Boots Ennis is moving along throughout his career. When he starts getting to them 10 rounds, that's where we really need to look at it. Now this is 26 and 10. See, now now we're getting somewhere. 18 and 0. Now the competition is getting a bit. Look at 24 and 5, 23 and 5, 12 and 1, 14 and 1, 23 and 5. Looks like a bunch of winners here. Look at, he got a no contest right here. We remember this fight, right? 28 and 2, 16 and 1, 25 and 5, 19 and 0. Okay. So you could say, look. And then that's when that Karen fight came in. He was 21 and 1. No one knew much about him. Jerron Boots Ennis just started entering these 12-round fights. No, he had a couple there. Oh, he had a couple right up here. He had that right there. He had that too. He went back down to 10. Then he went back up in 12, and he's been at 12 ever since, yes. But the Karen fight was a very challenging fight. A lot of people, look at the scorecards. 120, 108, 120, 108, 120, 108. Damn, that looks like a fucking beatdown, doesn't it? It was a lot tougher. He could not knock this dude out. He couldn't get him out of there. 26 and 1. David Adenise was 30 and 4. This was a pretty decent fight right here because it was for the full status of the IBF once he was mailed it. Then he went into the second fight with Karen right here, and he went another uh 12-round decision, but the scorecards were 119, 107, 117, 109, 116, 110. Hmm. Hmm. And then the Stanionis fight right here, he went and fought Stanionis. Now, Emmanuel Stanionis is the only real world champions Jerron Busanis has currently faced in that division. That is the only champion, and he fought him. He was a 15-0. You got to give him that. But as we all know in boxing, uh, all undefeated fighters are not the same, meaning you can't be considered an undefeated fighter with under 10 fights. 10 fights is the most common, or you can get a fighter to like and try to dress him up to have like 10 knockouts. But until you get into double digits with that knockout record, do people start considering you as a real undefeated fighter, depending on the fighters that you fought. Now, if you was to look at Emmanuel Stanionis and comparing him to the competition, you know, the type of fighter he is that faced Jerron Busanis, what makes him so special? Well, then who did you fight? You know, it's kind of like the Ring Magazine's concept of their champion. The man that beat the man that beat the man. Ain't that how you get credit for the ring? So why can't we use that same analogy in determining how a fighter is graded? You understand? Okay. So, and I think it's a perfect analogy. You must account for the level of opposition they're fighting. So let's get out of some. Oh, this guy gets quick, huh? I noticed that. I was going by it. 1 4-round fight in his life. You see how many Jerron Busanis rounds he had, right? Look at 6, 6, 8, 8. Yeah, he was a quick one. He was a quick one. Not really recognizing so far any names that dive out the well. And then he fought Jerron Busanis. So before that, he fought a guy with 6-0, 14-0. See, this is what I'm talking about. Dude, you beat this guy, and I'm supposed to lose my mind and say, yo, Jerron Busanis, you are the best thing since sliced bread. What? No, come on, man. Are you guys okay? Nah, man. I'm getting more comfortable. Listen, I'm feeling real good right now. Listen, yo, hold up, bro. This was pathetic. Yeah, you don't got nobody, brother. Now, in comparison, this is Xander, 23 and 13. He's 23 years old. You're fighting him on fight 23. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you don't put it on the 26th date. What is it? The 25th, the 27th? Well, don't put it June 23rd or something, because he's 23. He's fighting his 23rd fight like Jordan, number 20. He can't lose. Boots, you're all done. I put the correlation. I don't put the mumbo jumbo. You're done. Look at he's 5'10", 74-inch arm reach, right? Now, Xander. He got 1, 2. He went up to a 6, 4, 4, 4. Four fights. Little less than Boots. Same career start, basically. Nothing special here with Xander, with Boots. Basically, same kind of start. But you got some names, kid. You got a couple names here. I mean, they're not like household names. Okay, let's check something out too. Did you fight winners? On your first fight. fighter you fought, he had a 0-1. I mean, I guess he's a winner, right? He was an undefeated fighter. Yo, you ain't shit round one. You can't use that as an undefeated fighter. You only got one fight. Okay, okay, okay. Don't let me sell you that. Don't do it. Right? So, yo, and these are the 4-round fights. Yeah, like I said, that doesn't mean nothing in Jerome Buchanan when he fought that guy with a massive losing streak. So are these losers? No, no. These guys are basically okay, 2-5, all right. These are all winners. These guys are winners. Winners, winners, winner, winner, winner. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Xander has only fought one guy in his entire career that had a losing record, and it was a 2-5 record. He's never fought a loser. Uh-oh. He only knows how to beat winners. That's the worst guy that ever was on Xander's record right here, 2-5. In his entire career, he's only fought one guy with a losing record. Jerome Buchanan has fought several guys with losing records, with big losing records. So that's one positive for Xander right there. We got to acknowledge that. If you ain't never fought a fucking loser, all you doing is beating up on winners. Good fight. Good fight. That he was undefeated, 20-0, and he starched him. Great fight. He was the number one. He was a world champion. To tell you the truth, not being biased at all, bro, Xander's got a better resume. I'm not even fucking being biased. I mean, I got both resumes up here. Where can you pull from Jerome Buchanan's resume? This dude is a legitimate champion. He was 17-1, right? Yeah. But he actually beat a dude. Now let's see the fighters that Abbas Baru fought. We saw Stanionis, so it's only right that we have to check out Xander's competition because we done checked out Boots' guy. So you got to do the same thing. You can't protect Xander. We got to make sure we call the truth. Look, he's 31, 5'9 and a half, basically the same height. 17-9 with 2 losses because Xander gave him one of his losses, right? And I believe Abbas Baru is a road warrior. When he went on the road, when he went on the road, he won his belt on the road, right? He also had the IBO, Continental Super Welterweight. I didn't know that. Jay Spencer. Remember that name, right? Ain't they the guy that fought Tim Tszyu? Oh, yeah, Tellis. He gave Tellis his first loss. He beat the shit out of Tellis, bro. And Tellis did good the other night. Tellis did good. That win's going to age well, and then he lost to Xander. Mm-hmm. All right. So I know that right here it's difficult for you to. I could probably imagine what some of you are saying. Where the fuck is the WBA world title in here? But BoxRec does not honor the WBA, so that's why you don't see their belt in none of these fights. You know what I'm saying? Because the way that he got the belt, keep it in mind, he was upgraded. Abbas Baru when he beat the legitimate guy, the interim dude, but Terrence Crawford was holding up the division. See, Terrence Crawford had no right holding that belt and holding up the division when all his intentions were to go up and fight Saul Canelo Alvarez at 168. So, rightfully so, what would have happened on the night that Abbas Baru won the interim, he would have just been fighting for the real belt if it wasn't for the holdup of Terrence Crawford. Then when Terrence relinquished the belt, he was upgraded to full status, Abbas Baru, and became the full status. But many boxing fans and the WBA say Terrence was never going to defend that belt. He had no interest in defending that belt. He had his eyes set on a bigger prize. So, in fact, that fight with Abbas Baru had with that other dude would have been for the real belt. And then, so when he got it, it's what it is. But Abbas Baru was the world champion, and Perez was the number one. When has Jaron Boots Ennis fought the number one mandatory or the number one contender? He fought Stanionis was with a champion. So Abbas Baru and him, they exit themselves out right there. But Xander still got Perez. You don't got no answer for Perez. No, you don't. You ain't got no fighter on his resume, Jaron Boots Ennis' resume, that can beat Perez. Karen can't beat Perez. He can't beat Perez. Conwell will fuck Karen up. Put Karen in there with Conwell if you want to. Karen's going to sleep. Conwell will put Karen to sleep. I put my money on that. So don't tell me that Karen is one of the guys you would put against Xander's guys, because he can't beat Perez. Perez is too big for him, too long, and too smart. He'll beat the shit out of fucking Karen. Karen's too small for him. I think so. And if Jaron Boots Ennis is as big as they say he is, then shit, why couldn't he do that to Karen? If Xander tamed the shit out of Perez never even turned into half the fighter he was in the Conwell fight, and that's due in part to a nice stiff jab. That's what the fuck happened. I'm just telling the truth. I don't think once you take Stanionis and Abbas Baru, because rightfully so, they both fought a champion. Let's give them that. So we'll take them two out. Xander's record's better. He even fought, as you can see, better competition. He fought on average more winners than Jaron Boots Ennis did. Jaron Boots Ennis has a few fighters there with losing records. We looked it up. Xander only fought one loser with a 2-5 record, real early in his career, and he ain't fought a loser since. I like that. You ain't fighting a dude with fucking 5 wins and 30-something losses. This guy's accustomed to losing. His warrior spirit has been whipped, tamed, and doused off. He's just in there fighting on grit and fucking stupidity, right? He ain't winning, right? So when you fight guys like that, it's not too hard to break their spirit now, is it? They ever get in trouble in a fight, they know how to go to a familiar place. Lay down. You know what I'm saying? They'll go to a familiar place real quick. So it's not like I can say that, he fought a lot of guys with losing record. No, he didn't. Not necessarily, but a lot of tight records. You've seen it. He fought some guys that were like 26 and 24. It's kind of iffy, buddy. You treading on, and if you don't get that kind of, it can kind of like lure you astray to the real type of fighter you should be. Yeah, you're shining, but you're not proving it on a world stage. I think that Xander has had his fair share of good fighters already. I'm really high on that Abbas Baru fight. I know that fight's going to age well for Xander. I just have a feeling about it. That Abbas kid can fucking fight, bro. He's like that close from pulling off a good style. He's the type of fighter that can drown you. He's a professional drowner, Abbas Baru. That's his style. He has this level, like this mid game, that is fucking dangerous, and it can be confused with his real game, right? Because it looks similar in speed and everything. If you don't, if you've never seen this before and start to understand what he was doing, you kind of like would get lost and think he was fighting the same way the entire time. But Abbas Baru isn't. Nah, he's got this speed and this kind of pressure. It's kind of like a false pressure, right? But with activity, he's making the guy work and not giving him any breaks in like the first half of the fights. He's keeping his heart rate up. He's keeping intensity. Then out of nowhere, he makes the guy start opening up, punching hard. His opponent, that's what Abbas Baru does well. And he starts to boom, boom, weather the storm and snap him. And he's like poking the bear. Pop, pop, pop. And he watches them drain themselves. Then out of nowhere, Abbas just kicks it into another gear. He has another gear. Not a lot of fighters can do this shit. And all of a sudden, he just comes alive. Boom, pop, boom, boom, boom. And all of a sudden, you could see it in the other fighter. He's like that can be terrifying. You done threw everything, fought this guy, and you thought you saw the best version of him. And it wasn't. That's what I'm talking about. You would get it confused with his real fighting. Like, he's fighting you the whole time with like a disguise on, Abbas Baru. Is the best way I could describe it. And then peekaboo, surprise, motherfucker. Nah, it's time to fight now. And you want to walk out like, nah, I'm good. Like, nah, the fight just started, homeboy. And he tried that shit with Xander, and Xander tamed him. And you can see the moment. I can almost see the moment where Abbas Baru cracked. You could see it. He knew he's really, really good at it, but Xander, he trained for this moment. Xander was well educated on Abbas Baru. They had sparred before. He was familiar with Abbas Baru, Xander, and that's what he had on his side. I think that his training, his preparation is what won him that fight. Because Xander knew Abbas fought that way. If you had never seen it, he would catch you lacking. He caught a lot of fighters lacking like that. You got to prepare for a fighter like that. You got to be ready because you're going to have to expect for him to turn it up like that. When Abbas Baru started to turn it up in the Xander fight, Xander started hit, and then he grabbed him, right? And Abbas wanting to get out and be the typical, what he normally does, Xander kept disrupting that. By disrupting that and having little success with your attacks, it started fucking with Abbas Baru's mind. And as the late rounds started slipping away, he started becoming more desperate, taking more chances, Abbas Baru. And he kind of gassed himself out. Because you have to understand, no matter how well you trained, Abbas Baru could have trained to do 12 rounds and 12 rounds after that fight. No problem. But when you add the emotion to the event, you add nerves, anxiety, all in the equation, that can fatigue you in itself. If you don't know how to control your nerves, just the anxiousness will get you fatigued. So he could have been in shape, the best shape of his life, Abbas Baru. But the situation, him knowing the rounds are going and he's about to lose his belt, and everything he's tried, Xander had an answer for it. He started to like gas himself out because he started wanting the moment too much. And he kept coming at Xander and Xander knew. Now Xander turned the tides. He flipped the table on Abbas Baru. That's what he did. He used his own strength against him. That's how Xander beat Abbas Baru. He was well prepared for what he was going to try to do. He outsmarted him. He used his greatest strengths against him. And he beat Abbas Baru. That's why I say that Xander's a real student of boxing. That's why I said that earlier in my life, and I've said it. You got to watch him. Like, you ever notice when his coach tells him, Xander, you're doing this, do this, this, and this. Yo, the fucking very next round, he goes, and he corrects it. It's not like other guys, they come back to, yo, you're still doing the same mistake. Didn't I tell you? You're not doing what I said, son. Son, you're doing everything you hear those kind of arguments sometimes. Xander, yo, his coach, he leans down like this, con la gafita. He leans down, he looks in, and he goes, Xander, you need to do this, 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 this. Yo, así, Cricho, I can't say his face. Yo, just like he said he was going to, Xander gets up. I'm like, okay. He listens. He listens. He believes in his team. You know what I mean? So I always will, in a tight fight, I'm always going to take the greatest student. You know, a real student to the game, the guy that does the little things over and over, the basics, like a Xander type fighter. Sometimes the flashy guy can get caught. It works for you sometimes. You can look real flashy and you can have a great night. I'm not going to say that flashiness loses you the fight. No, I'm not saying that. But I like the student. I see the adjustments that Xander makes. I see the elevation in his fighting throughout every fight he's had. I've seen a better version of Xander. I've seen Xander green. I've seen Xander get hit with the overhand right a lot when he was younger. I've seen Xander correct that mistake. I've seen Xander get hit now with the straight left more because he's taking chances to come in. I've seen an evolution to Xander's fighting style. I've seen it evolving. And I see him also entering a phase in his life and he's starting to get like his grown man strength. You can see he no longer wants that, that young looking appeal with the braids and all that. Now he's getting his grown man on. He's got a little hair on his chest and 2 belts around his waist to hold his pants. And sometimes whenever you're going out, it's good to have a selection of belts. What am I going to wear today? The WBO or the WBA with the Nikes? The WBO with the Nikes or the WBA with the Timbs? I don't know. Sometimes, decisions. But it's always good to have more than to have zero, or to have something that you're portraying it like something else. Don't they got a word for that? Bootleg? Oh, you got a bootleg belt. You know what I'm saying? To hold up your pants. Shots fired. I'm taking shots. We got ourselves a fight. Listen. Shots fired. Ennis. Yo, that belt is cute, my man. Yo, did your mom make it? Yo, listen. Yo, shots fired. Yo, we got to talk it up, right? It's going to be a lot of shit talking going on, but healthy shit talking. It's all in love. I only say that in respectful competition. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to eat my crow. If I lose, I'm going to eat my crow. There's no fucking, we choosing a side right now, right? We going outside with this one, right? But, yo, it's all in love. All in love, baby. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think we could shit talk and respect each other. I respect Jerron Boots Ennis. I respect the city of Philly. You know what I'm saying? And we just got to compete. We got to compete. You guys want the same thing I want for my guy. How can I fucking be mad at you? How can I be mad at you if you want the same thing I want? May the best fans and fighter win then, right? I can't be mad at Jerron Boots Ennis for having the same desires and dreams and aspirations as Xander. No more than I can hate. No, I really mean this from all my boxing warrior heart. Every ounce of fucking warrior blood that pumps through this heart. I may the best man win. Real talk. May the best man, the most deserving man win the fight. Besides that, it's just history and us as fans picking a guy to tell you the truth. It's pride. They can be money behind it. Whatever your motives are for picking either guy in this fight, I just want to publicly know that I respect both fighters. And thank you for both of you for taking this fight. Not making it a Virgil Ortiz situation or a fucking stretch. This was a fairly quick sign and done. You got to admit it. Jerron Boots Ennis proved that I would go after you for the belt if you gave me a chance. And Xander proved if you even talked, if you even look at my belt, I will fight you. Yo, Jerron Boots Ennis, didn't you just look at my belt? Sign the contract. He looked at him. You know what I'm saying? It was that fast. There was no ducking here, no avoiding, nobody trying to price themselves out. Nothing. That's the terms. We doing it. They both see the value in the fight. Yeah, in competition, I don't want my guy to lose, but hey, it is what it is, man. This is boxing. Don't be a bitch now. Don't bitch up now when that dude comes around the corner. Nah, Xander. See, because in Xander's situation, I said this. It's not this. We're not at. It's not a case whether I think that Xander is ready for Jerron Busenis. We're past that. The minute Xander took the responsibility of grabbing those two belts, well, you took the responsibility of being a champion in that division. There's no more, oh, I think Xander is too young. No, if Jerron Boots Ennis beat Xander, he beat Xander. That's it. He wasn't a young guy, an older guy, an experienced, nothing. Xander was a unified world champion. Give Jerron Boots Ennis his credit. Don't say, oh, who'd he beat? Xander Zayas? Xander Zayas was never proven. Don't do that. Don't do that because Xander is a unified champion. And if Jerron Boots Ennis beats him, he beat a unified champion. Let Xander go out on his shield and give him the respect going out on his shield. He went down as a unified champion, not as a bum. Fuck that. Okay? So if Xander beats him, give him the credit. This is a great fight. This is a great fight, and it shows that when you're not ducking in the sport and these guys really want to fight, look how fast the fight can get done. Look how fast the fight can get done. No problem. So, I like it. I like the fight. I like the fight. My Island boys lost this weekend. Shut up. That is a bum. Easy work for Boots. Shut the hell up. Yo. Don't come up here with that bullshit. Yo, guy. Where's Frontline at? Oh, Gallo, Mexico taking shots. Yo, Gallo, you know y'all are down bad, right? I'm not gonna come at you right now, right? Because I don't got my co-host with me today, because I know he's gonna want to take shots at you. Yo, you've been taking shots at. I've been ignoring you. I've been seeing your little fucking chats and shit. But yo, I'm go get your boy Boobos and come back at 7:30. So lately I've been saying we're going at 7:30, but I've been having a lot of shit going on, guys. You guys know. Don't bring it up. So I got a lot of things going on and shit, and I'm really trying to like get us back in the night. But 100%, I already told wifey, 7:30 on a dot. We gonna be here. We gonna come this Monday. We gonna kick the week off. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, we gonna do that and shit. But yo, hey yo, what you say? Yo, my girl got robbed. Did you see that girl's face? Did you see Price's face? That shit was like this. Yo, come on, bro. The Puerto Rican girl's punches was harder. I went calmly and watched the fight. I thought she lost, my Puerto Rican girl. I think that Price did a lot of work, good work. She was clipping her. She was moving her feet. But the Puerto Rican girl was hitting stronger. She had her leaking out her mouth. She said, I think I got hit with a headbutt. No, that was a left check hook, bitch. Right? Like, just stop it. Right? But I went back and I watched it. And I was like, damn, she might have, like, Price might have edged it out. Yeah. When I went back and I saw it the second time. The first time, I was like, nah, hell no. Look at her face. Effective punching, right? You would think, like, look at the damage. You're the Puerto Rican. But she stunned that Puerto Rican girl fucking how many times in that fight? There was several times where she was like fucked up. And there was one time she was literally out on her feet. And she better thank God Price didn't recognize it. That girl was out on her feet. She was like this. Like that. Yeah, she's going to catch a back. $5 super chat. Bill, what up? Billy Cruz says, what? Xander and his team seeing something in Boots they can't expose. I think so too, my man. I really think so too. Because the level of confidence that they have when they came to like putting the fight together, it seemed like Xander and his team were like, yup, yup. Oh yeah, like they know something we don't know, right? They really think, I think Xander and his coach, I think they really think, and rightfully so, Xander believes he can beat Boots. Yeah, so I'm kind of like, you know what I'm saying? Buckhofer will help Xander beat Boots, just like Boots helped Canelo with Karen. Wow, yo, imagine if Bud Crawford really did that. What if he really went and helped Xander and shit? Didn't Xander announce that he was going to have a special like guest or some shit, right? Like to help him in his thing. I'm gonna drop the chat just in case anybody wants to come up, share a few thoughts. You know, I'm not expecting the Mexican brethrens to come up here because they never come up. You know what I'm saying? They hide behind the chat. You know what I'm saying? Yo, I'm telling you, you gonna get yours tonight, Mexico. Y'all down bad. All right? Yo, what was that dude in the fucking Zufa? The Mexico dude that fought against don't even say anything. Your boy was basically a punching bag in that Sufa fight. All right? Don't say nothing, Mexico. I see you over there. Fucking Mexico, always fucking with me. Love you guys. Yo, listen. Oh, we at you. I promise. We at you. Front line. Front line. That's my boy. Let's see. You look at all this Mexican shit. I told you Frontline is going to be coming around. Y'all going to get it. Fucking around. Don't worry, Frontline. We got these boys at 7:30. They getting boobos too. Bring your boy boobos. Mother. Yo. Oh, yeah. Keep Colon this Friday fighting. That's on ProBox. I actually sent out a text to Keith Cologne. I just got so much shit going on right now. And then the new arrivals of the twin Glocks for me and my daughter. I got his and hers. You know what I mean? We're going to go out, you know, when she comes for home for school, fill these bad boys over water. Oh, she's going down. Yo, last night I gave her a little bit. My wife wanted to kill us because we squirting water in the house. As soon as I handed it to her, I heard the theme song of Boys in the Hood play in the background. I knew I was going to get shot in the back. I started running. And she was like, yo, she gunned me down, bro. Yeah, and my wife flipped out. Squirting everywhere. It's like, it's just water. You know what I'm saying? Me and Nala, we were standing in the living room with a foot of water like this underneath us. It's only a little bit of water. The entire living room is filled with water. Oh, calm down. But yeah, she loved them. So when she gets home from school, I'm kicking her ass with these. Frontline, I'll be on tonight, 7:30. Yo, come back. Yo, listen. Look, Mexico, don't worry about it. Y'all gonna get yours. Listen. So anyway, fight fans, this is an amazing fight. This is one to watch. I gotta admit, this is one to watch. I think that Jerron Boots and Xander, they're gonna go out there and they're gonna perform. They're gonna put on a show. Like I said, all jokes aside, may the best man win. I see you guys out there in the battlefield. You know what I'm saying? Go Puerto Rico. Go Philly too. But you know what I'm saying? When it comes to this moment and Patriot Philly football, you know what I'm saying? Go Patriots. Yo, Philly. The other team. Anyway, I don't watch football no more. I haven't watched football in like 4 or 5 years, bro. But since the glory days, Brady. You know what I'm saying? Once Brady left, what was there to watch? You know what I mean? Anyway, fight fans, enjoy yourselves. I'm gonna see y'all tonight. What? Keep our belts this what? We kept our belts this weekend against Bud Crawford. What the fuck? Boots was in camp with Canelo again. Yeah. Shut up. Shut up. Shut it up. I don't know what you're talking about, bro. Because I seen a lot of Mexican dudes go, night, night. All right? We gonna talk about it. Hey, yo. Hey, yo. Hey, yo, Mexico, let me ask you right now. Who you got in the Jerron Boots Ennis fight versus Xander? Who you guys got? Let me guess. You guys just discovered that Jerron Boots Ennis is half Mexican on his sister's mother's side. You know what I'm saying? Let me guess. Jerron Boots Ennis became Mexican. You guys are no good. Listen, love you guys. Fight fans, see you guys tonight. I'm on to the next one after this one here at Round One Sports Talk. Take care of yourselves.